Hi, welcome to my complete Hyacine guide. Hyacine is our newest character coming in the first phase of version 3.3. She is looking to be a very strong healer focused on buffing HP scaling teams. In this video, I'll be going through everything you need to know how to build and play Hyacine, covering her best Lycorns, relic sets, player ornaments, teams, and many more. Before we start, I'm doing a giveaway of 2 express passes / welcome moons at 7k subs, so make sure you subscribe. Alright, let's start off with what does Hyacine actually do. Hyacine is a wing unit following the path of remembrance, and since she is a remembrance unit, we will begin with a memory sprite, Little Ica. Ica's talent makes it not have a turn at all, but instead, when any ally loses HP, Ica will reduce her own to heal them instead. And when Hyacine is in ultimate state, Ica gains a turn and attacks while also increasing her healing. In addition, she regenerates energy, increased when first summoned, and advances the action of Hyacine when disappearing. Ica's skill does damage to all enemies, depending on the amount both Hyacine and Ica heal throughout the battle, and reduces the tally count of healing afterwards. For Hyacine herself, her skill summons Ica and heals all allies. Her ultimate also heals all allies and enters the ultimate state, which increases max HP of all allies. And her talent states Ica's HP and increases damage dealt by Ica whenever they provide healing. For bonus trace abilities, the first makes both Hyacine and Ica's crit rate 100% and increases healing when healing someone half or lower HP. The second increases her effect res and makes her skill and ultimate also a cleanse. The third increases both of their max HP when at 200 speed, and for every 1 speed over 200 speed, capping at 400, increased healing bonus for both. And these are bonus stats, featuring speed, effect res, and HP. Overall, Hyacine has a very interesting kit. She is our first unit that is not part of the abundance path, but is a full dedicated healer. But that is also due to the fact that she has a memory sprite, which automatically forces her to be in the remembrance path. Hyacine is arguably the best healer in the game when it comes to sustaining alone, but when she is played in her best teams, and with a little bit of skill point investment in the battle, she can also deal some quite considerable damage. She is a unit that scales off healing done, so the more often your team needs to be healed, the better she is. So, HP manipulating teammates are her favorite, with her max HP increase. Ideally they are HP scaling too, which thankfully they are. As for trace leveling priorities, you want to be focusing on ultimate and her memory sprite talent. Then going for her skill, memory sprite skill, and talent is recommended. Basic can then be leveled and should be leveled if you plan to not use skill every turn. Now for how to actually build Hyacine, starting with her best Lycorns. As always, her best in slot will be your signature Lycorn. This increases speed, and when using any action, consume allies' HP and tally it up to make their pet's next attack include another instance of damage depending on the amount tallied, while also making their pet attack increase damage taken by all enemies. This is a very strong Lycorn, as not only does it increase speed to help you reach the 200 speed threshold for a major trace, it additionally also makes Ica do more damage while inflicting a debuff to help her team as well. Other than that, the only other options you're left with is the Herta Store Remembrance Lycorn. However, it is a very good alternative because it also features a speed increase to help with a major trace, while also having a team-wide buff. So the only thing lacking in this Lycorn is a personal damage increase compared to the signature. But for those looking to invest more into personal damage, Battle Pass Lycorn and Caster's Lycorn will work as well. Moving on to Hyacine's best relic sets and planar ornaments, her best in slot will be the brand new relic set, Warrior Goddess, also coming in version 3.3 as well. The 2-piece increases speed, and the 4-piece also increases speed and all allies crit damage when they or their memory sprite heals. Obviously, this is a tailor-made relic set for Hyacine, providing an abundance of speed for her major trace, while also increasing crit damage to buff both herself and her teammates. But for alternatives, Hyperspace can also be a good option, as her ultimate this time unlike many other healers, does affect allies, so the 4-piece can be activated. 2-piece 2-piece speed is a great option as well to simply reach 200 speed until you can get a proper 4-piece set of Warrior Goddess. 4-piece Eagle is also a great option if you want to opt for more damage from your Hyacine. And of course, as a healer, Wandering Clouds can also be fine. But I do want to iterate that 200 speed is your absolute main focus. Do whatever you can to reach that first, then consider the Relic set bonus. As for Planar Ornaments, Giant Tree is the tailor-made planner for her, increasing speed and increasing healing bonus of the wearer and Memo Sprite. But if you already have 200 speed without it, you may wish to opt for Energy Planner option instead, like Lashaka, Womvac, etc. for more ultimate uptime, which is just as important. Next up is Hyacine's best main stats and substats. For stat breakpoints, maybe, just maybe you have heard me say the 200 speed threshold. Joking aside, 200 speed is the utmost important stat to achieve for Hyacine, as it activates this major trace, which is super important because otherwise this major trace just does not work at all, and you definitely don't want to be down one major trace. This however should not be too big of a problem though, because with Signature Lycorn, Warrior Goddess, and Giant Tree, she is sitting at 188 speed, so only 12 more speed is needed. And with S5 Hearted Lycorn instead, she sits at 182 speed, which requires 18 speed extra, and that is not too bad to get either. But for breakpoints higher, aiming to get to 240 is ideal as it allows for 6 turns in 2 cycles in MOC, and you get a good amount of extra healing bonus, but remember, this is far from necessary. And for the other stats, aiming for over 5k HP with as much crit damage as you can get without sacrificing any other stat will be recommended. So with all of that out of the way, Hyacine's best main stats will be Healing Body, Speed Boost, HP Orb, and ERR Rope. Healing Body is the recommended one as it is the most comfortable one, while also just being more useful than the extra bit of damage that crit damage body can provide. But if you're focusing on a main DPS Hyacine, crit damage can be acceptable. Speed boots are a must, as even if you can hit the 200 without it, going for more to gain more healing bonus and reaching higher speed checkpoints will benefit you more. HP Orb as her heal scales of HP, so that's a no-brainer. And Energy Rope, as you ideally want 100% uptime on her ultimate, but it's not always possible, so getting it up as often as possible is ideal. But I do want to quickly mention that as of version 5 of 3.3 beta, it is possible to achieve 100% uptime on her ultimate when running an energy planner set with ERR Rope, while getting hit at least once. So playing for that is totally fine if you can reach 200 speed without Giant Tree. Now for Hyacine's best Eidolons. E1 increases the max HP increase of her ultimate state and makes her now also heal whenever any ally attacks. This is a very strong Eidolon that kind of propels HP scaling team comps even further, while also just increasing her healing power overall. E2 increases speed after an ally loses HP. This can help reaching the 400 speed cap, especially for teams that manipulate HP, which is really good but it's nothing extremely noteworthy. E3 and 5 are just trace levels. E4 makes a third major trace, also increase crit damage for 1 speed over 200, and E6 makes a Memo Sprite skill, reduce less tally, and increases all allies all-type resist pen when on field. Hyacine has some decent Eidolons with a main focus on E1. It makes her supportive and damaging capabilities increase decently, so getting it is a fine option. As for the question of Eidolon 1 versus Lycorn, it is not quite as simple this time, as Lycorn will be the better option in most cases, as it helps in her best teams, but also allows her to be flexible in other teams better. But if you plan to only run her in HP scaling teams, E1 can be the better option. And last but not least, Hyacine's best teammates and teams. Starting off, let's address the elephant in the room, Casters. Yes, as many of you guys know, Hyacine is the dedicated healer made to work with Casters. Not only does she heal a lot, which Casters needs, Hyacine also buffs HP, provides another unit, being her Memo Sprite, to draw HP from, all in all, making Casters do even more damage and have an even higher Netherwing uptime. while everything also benefiting Hyacine too, as casters can make Hyacine heal more, resulting in more damage as well. Other units I want to focus on are HP scaling units, primarily My Day, Blade, and Tribby. My Day and Blade also manipulate HP, which Hyacine really likes. Not only that, they both are skill point efficient, which allows Hyacine to use more skills, in turn increases her damage even more. But I do want to mention that for maximum synergy with Blade, her signature light cone is recommended, as the HP drain from it does count as a stack for Blade's follow-up attack. Tribby is also very good with Hyacine, as she just simply scales off HP and buffs HP skillers, which fits perfectly with Hyacine. And one last unit I want to mention is Acheron. This one is specific to her signature light cone, as it makes her Memo Sprite skill also apply a debuff, which fits perfectly with Acheron, as it can be more reliable and can be more often than a trend holding preservation unit or an aventuring. So therefore, for a very premium upgrade, Hyacine and her E1 can be used for your Acheron team as well. So with that out of the way, to no one's surprise, the best team of Hyacine start with Caster's Hyper Carry, featuring Caster's, RMC, Tribby, and Hyacine. RMC and Tribby can be any combination of those two, plus Sunday, Rame, Pella, and maybe even the next phase character, Cypher. Other than that, My Day with Caster's dual DPS team can also be very good, which, speaking of, My Day Hyper Carry with Sunday and Tribby will also get an upgrade with Hyacine. And of course, when mentioning My Day, Blade will be mentioned too, especially with the buff he will be receiving in version 3.4. So similarly, Blade with Sunday or Jade, Tribby, and Hyacine will be good as well. But this team will only get stronger with S1, which also unlocks Acheron's new best team, featuring Acheron, Jiaochu, Cypher, and Hyacine. But ultimately speaking though, Hyacine is just a really good healer, so while she is not the best in slot in teams outside of these, if you just need a sustain to help your team stay alive, and possibly also do some damage in the meantime, Hyacine will be a great option overall for most teams. So yeah, that does it for my Hyacine guide. As a person that plays a lot of Acheron, I'll be considering S1 on her, so that when she is not running with Caster's, I can use her with Acheron. But then again, I also want to go ham on Saber, so who knows, just pray to RNG Jesus I guess.